Minglaba everyone, I hope you're all safe and sound. I'm here for another book review. This time I'll be talking about Bad Mermaids by Sibyl Powder. However, before we get started, I would like you to know that this book is the first book of a series, since I haven't got down to reading the rest of the books yet. My opinion and my book review only stay true to this one. Alright, now that we've got that clear up, we can get started. This video will be divided into small parts: the theme, the plot, the writing style, the characters, and age appropriation. We can start with a general overview. The main characters of this book are Beatty, Mimi, and Soldier. They live in this entire mermaid civilization, which I think is run on a monarchy. Their queen Arabella Cott got taken over by some random unimportant human, and she sent a warning letter to the three mermaids in question, who were at the time having a little summer vacation on land. Apparently, their home got taken over by bad mermaids, and now they are the only ones who can save their home, since they went undetected and doesn't bore the mark that many other mermaids bore, which helped the pioneers track them down. Oh yeah, the pioneers are the new guards now too. So the three mermaids decided to go and investigate the Periwinkle Palace, where they found the schedule of Arabella, which they can use as a clue to find out when she disappeared and where all the kings and queens, including Zelda's and Mimi's parents, were imprisoned. With the help of Beatty's pet seahorse, Steve tagging along, they stole an underwater car and drove all the way to the crime-ridden Hammerhead Heights, the first clue. There, they talked with the ruler at his river restaurant, which turned out to be the inside of a shark mouth. I'm not sure if the shark is fake or real, alive or dead. Anyway, they found out that the queen disappeared after appointing Sylvia Snap as the ruler of the region of Oysterdale. Oysterdale also happens to be this really nasty place with a high concentration of bullies, and the chosen favorite state by the new mysterious ruler, the Swan. The owner of the car they stole also just happened to be Sylvia Snap. So they drove all the way to Oysterdale, where a big show was being held in honor of the Swan. So they decided to go break into a particularly fancy home in order to search for clues on where their queen had disappeared. However, the daughter of Sylvia spotted the car they were driving in and returned to her home to hunt down for the thieves. Beatty unfortunately got stuck at the entrance while they were trying to run away. However, using the power of destruction and underwater martial arts, they completely destroyed the home of the poor Oysterdale mermaid. And then they completely ran away to the hairdresser after verifying that this was where Sylvia went after our appointment with Arabella. There, they managed to snag a newspaper where Liberty Ling, the new ruler of Lobster Town, couldn't have done anything since she was having an underwater sport match at the time. So they decided to go confront the only person they concluded could have done the deed: Godergar, the new ruler of Anchor Rock. However, at the end, the story took a surprising but expected turn. We can now start with the theme. The theme of this book is obviously mermaids, fantasyland, and a whole lot of nonsense. This is a book that's absolutely bloated with comedy. What can we learn from this book? You know what, I'm not sure entirely either. Have a good time? Perhaps. The plot. Let me just say that this book is a book that is absolutely full of plot conveniences, coincidences, and people more honest than they should be. All part of the comedy. However, I have to give the book a pat on the back for actually making sense. The clues they were leaving behind and the resolution at the end all connected very well in terms of things considered. So I would say in the end that the plot makes sense and doesn't make sense at the same time, weirdly enough. Next, the writing style. It's very full of action and fast-paced. You'll probably feel tired after reading a chapter or two, which is how I feel afterwards. But apart from that, it is fairly standard. The joke they played at the beginning, though, after the mermaids returned to their home, where the pages only started to speak in the mermaid language, was pretty hilarious. The characters. There are just too many characters to talk about in this book, so I'm probably only going to talk about the three main heroines and the two main villains. However, it's a bit hard to round up their personality and all aspects of it, since as far as this book is concerned, the characterization is not a big deal. However, they do have one main quirk for each of them, so it'll make it easier to guess who's who. Firstly, Beatty, the star of the show. Beaty is an open-minded and adventurous person. She's got a reasonable head on her shoulder, and sometimes she typically says or does stuff that the audience will be thinking about. And then there are the mermaid twins, Zelda and Mimi. Zelda, this tomboy mermaid who you really get the sense of being really reckless and sarcastic. Seriously, half the trouble seemed to come because of her. However, she's a fun girl to be with, and some of the trouble she caused actually has good endings, so I'll give her a pass. Mimi's quite in a world of her own. It's not that she's incompetent, she just really doesn't care about everything that's going on around her. And girl, please, this is a secret mission. Please leave your honest self back at home and deploy your liar face. The secondary villain was Liberty Ling, the new ruler of Lobster Town. However, it would be unfair to categorize her as a villain since she's just basically getting manipulated. She's the face, the sun, the person everyone appears to see. But honestly, she has no idea what is going around her in the world. All she ever wanted to do was play sports and continue her lifelong passion of show research. She's also weirdly obsessed with hats for some reason. Now for the main villain, Omi Pike. I just can't take him seriously with that name. His goals are pretty simple. Live a life of luxury while he controls everybody against their will. You know, an honest goal of an honest person. I would say that he's pretty clever and also semi-patient. I mean, in the book, he's shown as spending his time waiting for the right moment, but he's also has a short temper, so there's that. Anyway, for a book like this, I can't really say much, but he's a good villain. And finally, age appropriation. This book is for peeps according to Google for around 9 to 14 years old, so technically I am still eligible to read this book. I mean, until I turn 15 by the end of May, but I'm not 15 yet, so the point still stands. I know I've praised this book a lot when it comes to its comedic standards, but it's not where I truly had a good time at. Most of the jokes are hit or misses for me, and most of them are misses. So I'm either a terrible tactless person or the jokes aren't really that good. If you take into account of all other aspects, including story and characterization, it doesn't really stand very high on the pedestal. It's a fun but confusing read and nothing truly groundbreaking or magnificent. I would give this book about a 3.8 out of 5 stars. If this is your type of book, you can go ahead and search for it. If it isn't, that's fine. It's not really my taste either.